So OpenAI released its new Canvas feature, which is similar to artifacts in Claude, where you get a separate editable section on the right for both written content as well as code. Let's check it out how it works. So I'm going to start with write a blog post about productivity. And immediately it starts writing, and it creates this separate section on the right with the chat on the left. So it makes it easier to iterate on this content and use chat as just a method to do it. So it's written the blog post. I'm just going to go to this right section and just take you through each of these different items. So you can add emojis to your text if you would like to. I don't see why you would want to. Add final polish, change the reading level. You can make it for someone in graduate school or kindergarten. Accordingly, you can adjust the length, shortest to longest, and you can suggest edits. So let's do this first. So what suggest edits does, it actually goes through the article and leaves comments. So it's kind of similar to how you would leave a comment on Google Docs. And if you've used a tool called Lex, it's fairly similar to how that works as well. And you can accordingly dismiss a suggestion, or you can go ahead and apply. So I'm going to apply this, consider shortening this sentence. So it's going to change things directly here. So you can also add text directly. So it becomes kind of an editor directly. This is pretty interesting. Add text here. Okay. And you have other suggestions, so I'm not going to look at all of them. I'm going to adjust the length. I'm going to make it a bit shorter. So, sorry. I'm going to make it a bit shorter. So it's going to start working on this, and it gives all comments on the left. So it's made it fairly shorter compared to what it was before. I'm going to actually increase the reading level. So I'm going to make it graduate school, and it gives you comments on what it's done. So on the left, it said, okay, I've condensed the text to make it 50% shorter. Okay, this is fairly difficult to read, using a lot of big words. So that's on the reading level side. I've done the length. I'm going to add final polish. So this is, I think, a one-shot type of improvement to the entire blog post, which is fairly good. So yeah, this is pretty interesting. Then you can also edit text directly. You can just delete stuff if you want, and then directly copy paste it to where you want to do your work. So there's less back and forth. So you don't need to go to a writing editor and paste some content, bring it back to ChatGPT, make improvements, and all of that. You can also select some text and ask ChatGPT to make this simpler, for example, and then it's going to work on the entire paragraph. But I would assume it would have worked just on those two words. But that's fairly interesting. You can also ask it to explain things. So explain this word. And it's going to do so here. So it's not going to make any edits, but it's going to explain stuff in the chat. So it's fairly interesting for anyone writing blog posts or any kind of content like a PRD or a public release, anything like that. I think it's fairly good. You can, it's pretty interesting. You can use it for various purposes. I am going to go to the next one, which is, write a Python script to call OpenAI's API. So let's see how this works. So I'm going to use code now, and it's working in a similar way that the code comes on the right, and you have, the chat on the left. So I'm going to take a look at these options here. So you have code review, you have port to a language, you have fix bugs, add logs, add comments. So I'm just going to try add comments first. Okay, so it's added to the right, trying to explain what it's doing. Let's add logging. Okay, it's made the code much longer, but it's added a bunch of logging in case of errors. And I am going to say, I'm going to say use, I'm going to ask ChatGPT use, this is an old model, so use the most latest model. So move this like GPT4o, GPT4. Okay, I'm just going to say GPT4. Okay, so it's going to make changes. Yes, it's going to make changes only here. I'm not sure whether this API is very recent, but it's made a change to the model. Now I'm going to try to port to a language. So keep current. Okay, so it has options like this. This is not a very good UI to kind of make these kind of changes, but I'm going to say JavaScript. So make this something that's in JavaScript. And yeah, so this is how it's changed things. I want to even just remove the logging so it's clear on what's to be done. Okay, Got it. So yeah, this is pretty cool. So you can actually edit code here. You can obviously change things like you could do in the text, and then just copy paste it to where you need to take it to. So fairly good update from OpenAI. I think this doesn't have versioning like how Artifacts has. Make a new version of this API with, just going to say make a new version of this API. Okay, so it has some level. Okay, so it has some level of versioning. So let me just see. Yeah, so if I open OpenAI API script, it's going to open that. This is the JS, and this is the version 2 JS. Fair enough. So it doesn't have versioning within these things, so I could not undo the logging, for example, or the commenting, but it has been able to create different versions that you can access through here. So a fairly good update from OpenAI. I think it's kind of catching up to what Claude is doing, or what Anthropic is doing with Claude and Artifacts. I think that was a good paradigm. It doesn't have a preview yet, so let me check if if there's a preview. So write front end code for a to-do list app and show the preview. Let's see whether this works. Okay, so it's going to write front end code, which is fairly easier to preview. Yeah, so it doesn't have a way in which you can preview it directly in ChatGPT, but you can save the code and then open in a browser, which is adding an additional step. But I can see where this is going. I think is catching up with Anthropic Claude, and I think it's a fairly good update, and looking forward to see what they build from here. And yeah, so that's about it. Hope you liked this video. If you did, do like and subscribe. A lot more content on AI coming up. And yeah, thanks for watching.